Alrighty, let's talk about It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 follows the kids of Derry as they've grown up, and you know what? They've got to come back and kill the killer clown, Pennywise. And you know what? This movie came out early or mid-October or late September of like 2019. I remember it vividly. I went to this movie instead of like an away football game one time, and like something must have happened at that away football game where people were texting me like, "Oh, you missed this out," but I'm like, "Yeah, I saw this movie with my dad and my uncle. Phenomenal. We had a blast. Actually, they had a blast because I'm very prone to jump scares. I was jumping and they were laughing at me. I was like, come on now. Anywho, that's beyond the point. You know what? A lot of people dunk on this movie for its side quest aspect of it, and you know what? Me personally, I kind of like those side quest aspects because not only are we seeing more footage of them as younger kids, but we're also seeing them deal with Pennywise one-on-one with their own little visions and side quests and such like that. And so I remember watching this for the first time, and I was a junior in high school, and I remember at the very end, I just got sad because there's this long type of like monologue spoken by all the kids and stuff like that about how like, we all grow up, but like, we're still friends and stuff like that. And I just think about that a lot because as I'm approaching the end of my college years, it's just like, it's just weird. And like even when I was in high school, I was nearing being a senior in high school, and it just felt like everything was coming down on me because, I'm not losing my friends, but we're all separating out. Just like, and they talk about that in the It film. It's like, are we still going to be friends in 10, 20 years, and like, it's a great question. You have these people you care about and you don't want to lose them. And of course, the movie It, Chapter 1 and 2 is kind of all about that, losing what you love and stuff like that. And so it's just, you know what, there's a lot deeper meaning to some of these things. And especially when you hit that target audience, I think it just gets you thinking. But at Chapter 2, it kind of it raises the scares, There's probably double the amount of scares in this movie. And I think it works well for that because people love Pennywise. I love Pennywise. Pennywise is awesome. Pennywise is just so cool. And like, he's just one of those characters that every time he's on screen, you want more of him. Like, I just cannot get enough of Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. He's just extremely entertaining to watch. And yeah, this movie is like 2 hours and 50 minutes long. And depending on when I'm watching it, I don't really feel that runtime very much, because I know I'm like, okay, first we go here, then we go there, and so forth. But there are times where like you can sit back and like, okay, this it's getting a little long. Let's pick up the pace per se. And so that being said, I think this movie, it might not be for everybody, but I think if you were a fan of the first one, there's a good chance you like this one. I think the last act is pretty insane, I was not in love with how they defeated Pennywise. This is a spoiler, but I'm sure most people have seen it. But they just they beat Pennywise by degrading him. And like, I get it, it's like, okay. They set that up with like, all creatures must abide by the law of the nature that they are, something like that. Like, I understand what they were setting up and how they were trying to be like, it's like, sticks and stones may break my bones, stuff like that. But I just wasn't a fan of like, they're just like, Pennywise, you're a stupid clown, you're a mummy, and I'm not afraid of you. And then he just gets smaller. I get it. Did not love it, but I get it. I understand what they were doing. I understand what they were going for. And it might work for some people. It just didn't quite work for me. I can appreciate the message they're sending within the film, as in like, we the losers are not afraid of you anymore. So why should you have the upper hand? That's a cool concept. I just don't quite love the execution. It's like, here's a good example. If a really big bully, if people just start degrading him, there's two things that happen. One, it might actually work. You might start getting emotional and he might not bully you anymore. The other option is he might get even angrier and he might just beat you up. I don't know. That's beyond the point. The point is It Chapter 2 is fun. I enjoyed it. If you're not a fan of the side quest trope it goes for, that's okay. You might not like it as much anymore. But regardless, I'm never gonna get enough of Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. I believe they're making a TV show. I don't know if it's filmed, or what exactly is going on with it. Regardless, I'm excited for it. I hope it gets made. There's so many things in Hollywood that they're like, hey, we're making this. We're gonna make this, and then it's 6 years later, and it's like, there's no script. There's no script. Anywho, like I said, we're ending the month of October, so yeah, thank you for watching this one, and I hope to see you back for the next one. We will see you tomorrow.